Hello, gorgeous souls. I am here to share an amazing case study about a space clearing project in the US I just completed yesterday, and it's just too good not to share. So, here we go. I will speak a bit about why space clearing is so important and why sometimes really only a space clearing expert can help, because saging is not enough, not for the really heavy stuff. And I will explain what that heavy stuff might be. It's not always just spirits, by the way, or negative entities. Space clearing is so much more than spirit removal. So this client contacted me because she had listened to a podcast I was on by Emily on her Healing Corner podcast. So she called and we had an assessment, and I zoned into the energy of her space. And so I immediately felt awful because there was such a strong energy. And as I asked my space clearing guides what this was, they said it's bipolar energy. And it was in every single room and so heavy. And this client told me she had saged the house multiple times. She had beautiful crystals in place. So this is a spiritual woman who knows how to generate positive energy. And yet there was this heavy bipolar energy. And so when I told her that, she almost couldn't believe it, because she told me then the husband's ex-wife, who was living in this house before she moved in, she was never diagnosed officially, but the whole family suspected that this is what it was, this bipolar energy that she was having in the house. And so once the ex-wife moved out and this woman moved in, the husband also told her that before they moved in, there was another couple living there, and the neighbors told him that that wife also had been bipolar. So then I was like, okay, that's very odd. So I checked even deeper into the house, and I found an energy line, a ley line going through the house, particularly through the kitchen. And so then I received a message that this ley line, this very strongly energetic line, was not causing bipolar, but it was amplifying it. So whoever moves in there who had a mood disorder or anything dormant within them, be it from their ancestors, be it that it was just, not fully expressed yet, this ley line would just amplify it and make it much worse. And so this is what happened to the two women living in this house who couldn't handle this strong energy from the ley line, because ley lines are sacred energy when they flow through someone's house, or not someone's house, but in nature, it's like Mother Earth's veins, basically. So it's very sacred, highly energetic energy. And not many people can handle that. So a lot of people are super sensitive, and whatever, let's call it their shadow self, whenever they haven't acknowledged or worked on their shadow self, be it their depressions or their mental health issues, any triggers from childhood woundings and traumas, any kind of that energy that hasn't been looked at, worked on, will just be amplified through this kind of energy ley line. And so it's a very sad story in that, sometimes we live in a place and we have no idea what the energy is in that space, and it might just trigger all these wounds and things we are not even aware about, and make it so much worse. So these kind of people shouldn't even be living in this kind of places, because it's so detrimental to their mental health and physical health. And obviously it was too late then. I mean, the woman had already lived there, and it gotten to a stage that it was just toxic for the marriage, because she also didn't want to get any help in terms of therapy. So, so this client who then called me, she was living with this heavy energy there for, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years already, with her son, and the husband also had a son who was living there. And so once this energy was removed, the husband, by the way, was also very much looking forward to it being removed, because he also felt it still being present there. And it was so strong that I could see it as like dark shadows, and it was almost moving and really accumulated also in the corners of the house. It was just, imagine like an invisible fog. That's what it looked like. So if people could see energy, negative energy that we leave behind, they would do space clearings much more often, because it's just so heavy. So this is an amazing example of how using sage or any other of the common space clearing ritual won't work with such heavy energies. And this is how a space clearing expert comes in then, because then we work with really powerful energy healing to remove such energies and to bring in and infuse the house with the exact frequency that the couple living there will need. So it's very specified to the person or persons who are living there, because everybody has different needs. Everybody is at a different frequency and need different kinds of energy to feel empowered in their own home and peaceful or joyful, whatever it is they want to experience more of. And so we infused the house with the requests that they made of the kind of energy they do want to feel more of. And yes, and on top, it was very cute. So this client's grandmother or great-grandmother, I'm not sure now if I'm confusing it, but one of them showed up in spirit form to tell me that she was looking after the son of this client, who had just recently gone to college, and she was his guardian angel looking after him. And then as I told the client this, she got confirmation, I think 2 confirmations, that this indeed was true, which she shared with me in an email that I'm going to share in a blog post, because that confirmation alone is just so beautiful. I love the synchronicity around receiving signs from spirit guides or the universe. It's always such a beautiful event when we get confirmation of, who's looking after us, right? So it was such a nice thing. So I think all in all, this was a really great case study to showcase that sometimes we move into a space and we don't know who lived there before. Maybe we know, maybe we don't, but we do not know what they left behind in terms of their energy, what kind of struggles they went through, be it mentally, be it physically. So also remove a lot of energy around chronic illnesses when people have been sick for a long time in the house, be it cancer, be it any other chronic illnesses. That energy always stays around. And the same with divorce energy. That's like a very heavy energy. And this client in particular, she's very sensitive to this kind of information. Even as a child, she remembers living somewhere, and she told me that she remembered her neighbors had divorced and a new couple was about to move in. And as a child, she already know, I don't know if it's good for them to move in there, because there's this heavy divorce energy in the house. Imagine that, like a child. That's incredible. So that just shows she's a very old soul, and even as a child she could perceive energies and knew the implications of negative energy and what it means for people living there. And indeed, the new couple moved in and also got divorced while living in that house. So those things are not a joke, and heavy energy will remain in places for decades and centuries even, and nothing will make it go away. Nothing in terms of smudging, saging, putting crystals in place. Yes, so for all of those cases, I always recommend get a professional space clearing expert who not just works with like rituals, right? Because they can also come in and just do the same thing with the smudging, but really people who are psychic and who can sense what kind of energy is in there, who can either see what's going on, who just know what's going on, who are very sensitive to energies and know what's happening. Because it's one thing when you go, I feel negative energy, but you don't know what it is. And it's a totally different ballgame when you go into a space and you know exactly what energy it is, where it is, and how to remove it. So, voila, that's the case study I wanted to share. And I hope you enjoyed it. And big hugs from me. Hello, gorgeous soul.